Good morning grade 8 students. Welcome to our next video. As you all know, in previous video we have started with our chapter first and we have seen the topics that is different agriculture practices, different agricultural implements and adding manures and fertilizer. In today's video we are going to start with the further topics, that is irrigation, modern and traditional method of irrigation, then how the storage of food, how the food is stored, then what are weedicides, and last but not the least what is animal husbandry. So let's start with our next topic, that is irrigation.
So, as we all know, we all need that water is very much essential for all living organisms. Even in crops fields, seeds can germinate only when there is an ability of sufficient amount of water. Further, more plants also need water for growth and development of flowers, fruits and seeds. Plant roots absorb water present in the soil along with water. Plant root also absorb essential minerals and fertilizer. A healthy plant contains 90% of water. Water containing nutrients gets transported to different parts of plants. Water present in plant also protect the plant from frost and flowing hot air. Therefore, a healthy plant requires regular supply of water. The supply of water to crops at regular time interval is called irrigation. The time and repetition of irrigation is different for different crops, different for different soil types, and different in different season. For example, in summer season, due to hot climate, evaporation of water through plant leaves and soil is high, so irrigation is done more frequently. However, in winter season, due to cold climate, irrigation is not so frequent. Sources of irrigation. Now let us see which are the sources of irrigation. Are wells, tube wells, ponds, lakes, rivers, dams and canals. Then the next, that is traditional methods of irrigation. Which are the traditional methods of irrigation? Mode, that is pulley system, chain pump, tail key, rahat, that is level system, are some of the methods to bring out water from wells, lakes or canals and irrigate the land. So through this we irrigate the land. These methods are based on cattle or human labor. Therefore, these are cheaper, however less efficient of all tradition method. Pumps are more common. Pumps use biogas, diesel, electricity or solar energy as fuel. Now modern methods of irrigation. These methods are more economical and effective as compared to traditional method. First, that is sprinkler system. This system consists of vertical pipes. Can you see the vertical pipes? Provided with rotating nozzle on the top and joined to main pipelines at regular intervals. With the help of pump, water is allowed to flow through these pipes and the pressure. The pressure of water makes the nozzle to rotate and water is sprinkled on the crop. Okay. Next, that is drip system. Okay, let us see about drip system. With this system, irrigation is done drop by drop near the plants so that only the part of soil where roots grow is wet. It is best for fruit, plants, garden trees due to drop by drop irrigation. So, there is drop by drop irrigation. Okay. And there is no wastage of water in this system. However, the irrigation needs to be done more frequently. This system is very useful in regions where there is less amount of water availability. Next topic, that is protection from weeds. In a field, many other undesirable plants may grow naturally along with the crop, and these undesirable plants are called weeds. So, unwanted plants, okay, they are known as weeds. And the removal of weed is called weeding. So, we remove that weeds, okay. Weeding is necessary since weeds compete with the crop plants for water, nutrient, space, and light. So, what does weeds do? They compete for the minerals, water, and nutrients, okay, with the other crop plants, and thus they affect the growth of the crop, and thus our crop is affected by this weed. So, it is necessary to remove this weed. Farmers adopt many ways to remove weeds and control their growth. Tilling before sowing of crops helps in uprooting and killing of weeds. So what does tilling do? This helps to uproot the weeds and kill the weeds, which may then dry up and get mixed with the soil. The best time for the removal of weed is before they produce flower and seeds. So what is the best time to remove weeds? Before producing flower and seeds. So that time we have to remove that weeds. Weeds are also controlled by using certain chemicals. So these weeds are controlled using different chemicals. They are called as weedicides. As we all have pesticides, okay, they are weedicides which control the weeds. Like 2,4-D, these are sprayed in the fields to kill the weeds. Next, that is harvesting. Harvesting of a crop is an important task. The cutting of crop after it is mature is called harvesting. So, when the crops is mature, we cut the crop, and that process is known as harvesting. In harvesting, crops are pulled out or cut close to the ground. It usually takes 3 to 4 months for a cereal crop to mature. Can you see he is cutting from the downwards? Okay, so that is known as harvesting. And how many months it take? It takes 3 to 4 months for cereal crop to mature. So harvesting in our country is either done manually by sickle or by machine called harvester. So can you see the machine in the picture? That is known as harvester, where we can do it by this machine. In the harvested crop, the grain seeds need to be separated from the chaff. So in this harvested crop, the grain seeds which are separated from the chaff, and this process is called as threshing, where this chaff is separated and grain is separated, and the process is known as threshing. This is carried out with the help of a machine called combine. So which machine is used for threshing? Combine, which is in fact a combine harvester and thresher. Now farmers with small holdings of land do the separation of grain and chaff by winnowing. So farmers which have small land, how do they separate grain and chaff? By the process called as winnowing. Then the process next, that is storage. How the grains are stored. Storage of produce is an important task. If the crop grains are to be kept for longer time, they should be safe from moisture, insect, rats and microorganisms. To provide this crop, okay, to keep this crop in a proper safe for a longer time, they should be safe from moisture, insect, rats and microorganisms, as they will destroy the crop. The fresh crop has more moisture. So the fresh crop, it is having more moisture. Freshly harvested grains are stored without drying. They may get spoiled or attacked by organisms, losing their germination capacity. So the freshly harvested seed, they have more moisture, and that is why they should be dried properly so that it will be stored for a longer period. Farmers store grains in jute bags or metallic bins. Can you see in the given picture how they are stored in the jute bags or metallic bins? However, large scale storage of grain is done in silos and granaries. Can you see the silos picture? Okay. So, large storage is done in that to protect them from pests like rats and insects, so that they are protected from the pest. Now, food from animals. We have just seen that the process of crop production involves a number of steps like selection of seeds, sowing, etc. Similarly, animals reared at home or in farms have to be provided with proper food, shelter and care. When this is done on a large scale, it is called as animal husbandry. So what is animal husbandry? When similarly we have seen the food production, okay, how the process is taking place. Similarly in animals, okay, we are reared, it is taken for rearing, okay. at homes or in the farms, and they have to be provided with a proper food, water, shelter and care. And this is when it is done on larger scale. Okay, it is known as animal husbandry. Now, what we have learned in this chapter: in order to provide food to our growing population, we need to adopt certain agriculture practices. Same kind of plants grow and cultivated at a place constitute a crop. In India, crops can be broadly categorized into two types, as we have seen Rabi and Kharif crops. And it is necessary to prepare soil by tilling and leveling. Plows and levelers are used for this purpose. Sowing of seeds at appropriate depths and distances gives good yield. Good variety of yields are sown after selection of healthy seed, and sowing is done by seed drills, as we have seen the food process. Okay. Soil needs replenishment and enrichment through the use of organic manure and fertilizers. Use of chemical fertilizers has increased tremendously with the introduction of new crop varieties. Supply of water to crops at appropriate intervals is called irrigation. Then the weeding process involves removal of unwanted and uncultivated plants are called weeds, which are removed by the weedicides, okay, chemical. Harvesting is the cutting of the mature crop manually or by the machine. Separation of the grains from the chaff is called threshing. Proper storage of grain is necessary to protect them from pest and microorganisms. And last, we have studied that is food also obtained from animals, for which animals are rare, and this is known as animal husbandry, where their animals are reared on a large scale. It is called as animal husbandry.
Students, I hope you all are clear with this chapter. I have sent you in previous video the PDF file, the chapter number first, that is all the question answers and objectives in that with the answer. So you are going to write down that in your science notebook. See you in the next video with new chapter.